Being a lifelong Community of Christ member, I never made the choice to join this church. However, I have chosen to stay many times. When the opportunity for change presents itself, I am always compelled by this faith movement's capacity for love and service towards others. Working as a nurse in the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, or NICU, brings me into contact with many families who lack social and financial support and live at the edge of poverty. One thing I never thought would be impacted by finances was a baby's access to its mother's breast milk. Mothers with a sick baby require a hospital-grade breast pump in order to provide breast milk to their baby while in hospital. Because of the importance of breast milk's nutritional, immunity, and maternal health benefits, many would consider these breast pumps to be essential medical devices. I was shocked to learn that these breast pump rentals can cost over $75 a month and that there's no cost relief available to families that cannot afford the fee. I did some research into what public service might want to take on the task of providing affordable breast pump rentals and realized that a program like this didn't really fit anywhere. It became clear to me that I was being called to action, and I knew where to turn for help. The Calgary, Alberta congregation has always been eager to assist in community projects and programs, either through volunteerism or providing funding. I spent about a month researching equipment, deciding what should be included in the kits, and how to manage the rental process. With the guidance of my pastor, who also happens to be my stepdad, I wrote a proposal to the congregation asking for seed money and their support to run a one-year pilot project for low-cost breast pump rentals. The response from the congregation was overwhelmingly positive, and on March 16th, 2017, the MOM, or Mother's Own Milk Project, rented its first pumping kit to a young mother whose baby girl was born almost 4 months early. An incredible addition to the program came from a suggestion made by a congregation member who had a very isolated neighbor in need of connection. This neighbor, Hannelore, was an avid knitter who loved to donate her works. She could not afford full balls of yarn, so she would piece together many colors and textures into items that were too small to be prayer shawls or scarves, but might make good baby blankets. Thus, the baby blanket ministry was born. The Mom Project provided yarn to Hannelore and other volunteer crafters so that each family who rented a pump also received a handmade baby blanket that had been blessed by the congregation. This loving gesture brings many of our families to tears. Knowing that a complete stranger took the time and care to create a beautiful keepsake for their baby provides comfort to people who may be isolated, lonely, lost, overwhelmed, and scared. I always call the baby blankets the heart of the Mom Project because it is a tangible way to show love and care in a vulnerable time in the lives of families and sick babies. This sort of ingenuity and constant consideration of how we can extend love, our gifts of time, talent, and tithes, and the blessings of community are what excite me about the future with Community of Christ. The Mom Project has touched the lives of over 250 families and 280 plus sick babies. Our congregation has spread the loving example of Christ to each of these families without any proselytizing, preaching, or bringing anyone into our building. Our volunteers have helped families grieve when their babies don't survive their illnesses, providing prayer shawls and a listening ear when needed. One little boy was wrapped in his Mom Project blanket when he was cremated because the family wanted him to be surrounded by love. I never imagined that this very medical, practical project would have such an emotional impact on those served and the volunteers providing it. At its best, the Community of Christ seeks to abolish poverty and end suffering, uphold the worth of all persons, and assures its followers that all are called. The eagerness to pursue these goals is why I remain committed to this church and what excites me about the future. There are so many opportunities to give, support, and uplift the world around us. Sometimes we just have to listen carefully for the call and then be ready when we are called to action.